So yeah, we're gonna watch some spooky horror stuff for a second before I wrap it up. Okay, good. What's that guy doing?
The Portuguese YouTube channel, called Supernatural Persecution, specializes in the theme of urban explorations. Its members have traveled to amazing places where supposedly paranormal activities are often repeated. But they had never lived such an experience, like the one on an abandoned railway line. It was in the middle of the forest and in the dark that as they advanced, they would face this.
E próximo, acho que uns 100 metros, mais ou menos aí. Nós já estamos chegando. Leonardo do céu! Olha o vulto branco lá, ó! Passando atrás de você, cara!
Oh my God.
Almost throughout the entire video, they were accompanied by sounds of footsteps and cries. The worst would happen later. Unfortunately, it is not possible to see clearly, but one of the friends claimed to see a being in the middle of the train tracks. According to him, it wore an outdated outfit and moved as if it were floating on the tracks.
I don't think that's what that was.
Unfortunately, in the video, we can only see part of what the friend claimed to see. Do you know what the most mysterious is? According to some locals, many years ago, a woman jumped onto the railroads after suffering an infidelity, a story that over time passed from generation to generation until it became a legend. But that as a
Sounds like it was like a
result of this
medical fucking
registration,
issue, suffering and infidelity.
unexpectedly returned.
I
Is
like
this
this
entity
narration.
the spirit of that woman?
He's like chills,
Tell me what you think. Number 2.
turning her up. Look at those hands, man.
The following clip
That
came into
filter
my
is not a
possession
joke,
thanks to Bruno
okay?
Franco, a subscriber who is from Mexico City and in charge of sending me a completely inexplicable video. In his email, he says that his brother has a security camera.
If you
that
use this
records
filter, you're a
everything
real
that
artist.
happens outside his house. He confesses that he hardly ever reviews the recordings of this device until the police asked for it one night. You see, that night, a homicide had occurred. Shots fired from a vehicle at pedestrians. The event had occurred just a few blocks away, and the police wanted to know if his camera had captured the license plate of the car that perpetrated the shots. Instead, the camera captured the following.
Goes. Oh my God. But where'd they go? Where's Captain Disillusion?
Do you notice the figure of a person?
The last one in this video,
Do you also
though?
notice how it seems to disappear? And the clip in charge of closing this video was sent by many of you who explicitly
I love
asked
this.
me to show it.
The music
A
and
video
everything.
that shows an alleged being that lives in the house of the woman you see on the screen. This woman claims to be its mother. The team in charge of carrying out its investigation installed cameras in various places to get to know the behavior of this being. They encountered this.
Totally real. Number 1. If you don't know, this is a video we watched before on the channel. The Life of Luxury dudes. It's not real. My son won't stop growing. And then a fucking Photoshop
Just
tongue
to let
comes
you
out.
know, this footage is part of the series of videos
Like, the
that
fucking
appear on the
thumbnails are
channel
pretty creepy, though.
Life of Luxury. We had already mentioned them before. This is an entertainment channel. They plan paranormal situations to
Like,
terrify,
all of them are.
and their videos really fulfill that objective.
Yeah,
They
I would agree
in
with
no
that.
way intend to ensure that their situations are real. In fact, they clarify it in the description of their videos. I'm showing these clips here just to clarify where they come from, and to know that it is normal that in the world of social networks, there are cases like this, and to confuse people.
Some channels use
of
these
what
clips,
really
yeah, and
is
they like try to say
paranormal.
that it's real, like
I
on
hope
TikTok
you
and
like
stuff.
this
It's like
video,
real
because
footage
we
of
have come
fucking
to an
ghosts.
end. My name is Leonor Clay, and this was The Darkest Secret.
The Darkest Secret. Yeah, I kind of like this channel. I don't know. I think this is my new malevolent bear. Elephant, whatever the fuck that guy's name was. Yo, what?
Some time ago, I told you that a new branch within the world of the paranormal was beginning to be considered by many experts in the field. The so-called
Any experts in the field. Oops, I just hit the fucking mic.
events that
Sorry.
cannot be explained because they simply go against all logic, and that have turned out to be truly intriguing. This is why I
What
took
the
on
fuck does that have to
task
do
of
with what she's
collecting
talking
the best
about?
videos that could show that we live in a completely simulated reality,
Man on fucking
and that tonight
leash
they
walking
will
other
surely
man.
surprise you. I'm Leonor Clay, and this is The Darkest Secret. Today we present 5 videos that demonstrate flaws in reality.
Soccer isn't real?
Part
Oh
3.
my god. Then how?
Much of the videos that you're about to see were sent by my audience. If you know or have videos of this style that you would like for me to see, do not hesitate to send it to the email that you now see on the screen.
Yeah, I've watched
Or
all
as
the
a
Down the
direct
Rabbit Hole
message
videos.
to my official Facebook. And if you like my content, help me by sharing these videos with your friends. Let's not allow these clips to
Mostly,
be
I think.
forgotten. Without further ado, let's get started.
They're a little long
Number 5.
for this, I think. Maybe someday.
The video that welcomes us describes a rather particular
Fascinating horror channel? I
situation.
don't know if I've seen that,
An
Max.
event recorded during a training session carried out by
What's
the
that?
players of the Boca Juniors Athletic Club, a very popular soccer team in Argentina, that weekly uploads on their social networks footages of their soccer practices. However, one of their latest videos generated a lot of comments due to a strange event that occurred while training for their next game. Watch.
But why? Yeah, why is he on a leash? If they let him off the leash, is he just like too fucking crazy? Like in Mighty Ducks or something like that? That happened in Mighty Ducks, right? And like a guy in a cage. Pretty sure that happened. Wait, where'd the ball go? Is that the thing? Is the ball disappeared?
How is
Oh
it that
my
the ball could disappear
God.
in that way? Could it be part of
How?
a trick? Despite the fact that there were rumors about
Maybe
a
because they're
possible
playing
manipulation,
soccer?
Boca
and you
Juniors
kick the
stands
ball?
out for being a serious soccer team, and they assure that they would never do such a thing. So, what happened here? What happened to the ball? Number 4.
Number 4. The ball went into his leg. He absorbed it.
Stasia Belarusova
Shot it out of his mouth
is
later
a
on.
Russian subscriber who sends us a strange scene that was captured by one of her friends.
The
She
new
was going home after a
like
hard
technique
day
that's
at work
taking the
in
soccer
city
world
of
by
St.
storm.
Petersburg. You see, while waiting for the traffic light to change,
Like that one scene
the
with
dash cam that she
King
had
Piccolo.
installed in front of her vehicle captured an event that at the moment went unnoticed before her eyes, but that later would reveal a surprising mystery.
Who's that bird? Oh my, the van is gone. Did you see that? The van went into that bush. Also, the van is black colored. Like the black helicopters. Black helicopters in the sky.
You noticed it, right? How does that van disappear?
The arrows
If you look
really help.
closely, the image is always
Yeah.
continuous.
Guys, if you don't have
The
a red
people you
arrow
see
in
walking
one of
the
these
background,
videos, then
at
it's
no
not
moment
probably
do
not
they
real.
abruptly interrupt their walk or disappear. This type of phenomena usually
Insane.
happens a lot in video games. Sometimes in clones, errors, glitches that should not occur, but that sometimes goes unseen by the expertise.
Like if
of
it
the
was
programmer.
like it's obviously edited.
However, here, in real life, something like that should be impossible. Undoubtedly, a very difficult video to explain.
No.
Number 3.
It's like the next car is supposed to be showing that like that car gets through without a problem.
Kevin from Colombia is responsible for a registry that, according to his
They
own
use this
words,
fucking guy
lacks
typing a lot
any
in their
logic.
footage.
I have seen it dozens of times, and it seems to have no cut. It really seems to be real. So I ask you
I hope
to
it's like a
pay
little
close
goblin
attention
man
to
that
see
like
if
gets
we
out of the
can find
garbage
a
and
more
like
skeptical
fucking
truth about this
runs
video.
around, like eats garbage.
The image you see on the screen corresponds to a security camera located outside a house in the city of Cali. A camera that recorded the moment that the cleaning service removed the garbage bags that residents had left the night before. This would be the exact moment where the inexplicable would
lady.
be present.
What is she doing? And then she's gone. Guys. She got sucked into the fucking garbage machine. Where the hell did she go? It's impossible. Couldn't she have like gotten into that car? Like watch. I get on. Couldn't she have gotten in there? Couldn't she have like walked through? Could she be like right there? And then when they start driving, it doesn't really block it. Maybe she's just out of sight the entire time, right? Like she's walking right now. She's like right there. And then she clears around the fence. And in that time that's blocked and she went down that way. Like look how quick she's walking. Goes out of sight. And she's heading for that alley. She's walking. She's walking. Even that guy on the bike. Kind of looks like he's looking at her a little bit. Yeah, maybe not. I totally think that's what happened. It's not that fucking crazy. Or she got sucked into the garbage machine. The garbage collector. Is this guy supposed to be like reacting? They're supposed to be reacting to it? I don't know where she went. Where'd she go? Are they really? Is that really what's happening?
According to our subscriber who lives in that neighborhood,
Or are they
this
like, fuck,
man
my wallet's
told a
gone,
girl
man. I
the
lost my
truck was
wallet.
about to leave and saw her move back. However, later, she was gone. According to the workers, they both thought she had been hit by the truck.
Well, why would they go over there then if they hit her?
Understand anything?
Wouldn't they be like
since
looking
there
under
was
the
no
fucking
one
truck?
Under the truck. They took their hands to their head and wondered where the woman was.
Like, I don't think that's how you would react if you
The
ran
woman
someone
was
over.
a spirit.
Just like
How is this possible?
oh no.
What happened to the young woman? If you notice, the driver also got out of the vehicle.
Boom.
According to him, the woman
It was just like some
disappeared.
house.
He saw her in the rearview mirror, and then she was gone. Our subscriber assures that it was a spirit. Those workers believe the same. But what if it's not? What if this is the biggest evidence of a flaw in reality?
That's what it is.
Number 2.
Number 2.
The videos that show failures in reality are usually captured by chance, that can manifest themselves in many ways, affecting all of our reality, including even the human being. And the videos that you will see below are the most reliable proof of that. The first one was captured by a young man who, from inside his vehicle, saw something that left him completely surprised.
That boy got that virus. Boy, hell no, boy. That boy is stuck in time.
How would you react to seeing something like this? A true human statue that until now no one has been able to explain.
I'd say it's someone making a fucking
Situations of
TikTok.
this type are what experts in paranormal issues are beginning to investigate further. Like this other clip recorded when a young man practiced parkour.
There's no person under the truck in the last video. It's dumb as fuck. No one just runs someone over and is like, runs 30 feet away and puts their hands on their head like that.
At first glance, it is difficult to perceive it. Only in slow motion can you appreciate this strange maneuver in all its splendor. How could he achieve this?
Also, if you think you could see like
Did he do it on
tiny
purpose?
white
Tell
pixelated
me what
feet
you
under
think.
something like that, you're also pretty stupid.
Number 1. We finished this video with a
Dude, I
clip
could see
that
resolutions
Jonathan
the human eye
made. She
can't,
says
and
that while watching videos
I
on
could
Facebook,
tell, I
she
can tell
found one that
anything.
rightly left her stunned by how incredible it turns out to be. As you can see, the image shows a young girl practicing with her skateboard, at which point it is shown what for Dana undoubtedly represents a flaw in reality.
A flaw.
Watch.
I wish they would just say that they're like weird videos and not like a flaw in reality. That's like the fucking.
What the fuck? What?
Like it's like when you get the water bottle like landing the right way.
Was it the product of a defect in the ramp? If you look closely, the skateboard is on a joint between plates. But will this be enough to stop the girl from flying off the ramp? No holes can be seen underneath the wheels to make us think
I
that it
dropped
was
a
due
penny
to that.
and it landed
What
heads
do you
up.
think about this and the other clips? Could they really be flaws in reality, or will they be events with reasonable and logical explanations? Let me know in the comment box.
That is
because
number
we have
1,
come
man.
to an end. My name is Leonor.
That can't happen.
And
That's a
this
video
was
game.
the darkest secret.
A video game. Yeah, this is what the news is going to be in like another few years. Like weird videos that people sent in that day. Now let's watch one last thing. She has a lot on this channel though. Some of it looks pretty bad, but the 5 most impressive witch records ever captured. I think I'll dip into that another time though. It's just like rehash after rehash of the same videos over and over again. Like the witch on the what do you call it? On the railway. That chases those dudes. Not the one we just saw, but the other one. Oh, actually? This is a good one. Actually, did they do Kenny Veach on bedtime stories? The M Cave? Has anyone ever heard of that? They did do it on bedtime stories. Okay, we'll watch it on bedtime stories. As opposed to that narrator. And I don't have anything against her, but I've always found this story interesting. Oops, wrong button. It's sad, but it's also
November
interesting.
2014,
Oh, their
an
audio.
adventurer by the name of Kenny Veach went missing.
It's like their
after
first
finding
microphone, I
a strange
think.
cave out in the
Their audio
Mojave
is so much
Desert,
better now.
which seemed to have supernatural properties. Did he stumble upon something he was never meant to find?
This is like one of their
Or
first
were there more
videos.
personal reasons behind his disappearance?
Kenny Beats. Yeah, you know what? Their first video is actually what I saw one night a few years ago. Like they had released it and I was looking up the Aileen Moore lighthouse story. And it just came up in my feed and I was like, oh, this looks cool. And I subbed and then I've watched every video since then, I think. And that's their first video, I think. They actually redid it, I think. Yeah, the M Cave is weird, but it could just be like a tragedy too. See, everything reminds me of a specific year in Halloween. My girlfriend's mom was explaining to me that there's some very specific rotation or alignments that was just right with the planet, and I believe it's the axis. Point being that because some weird, very infrequent event related to the Earth's axis or whatever.
The Mojave
It's
Desert,
totally possible to stand on Bruin's
also
edge or
known
just
as the
stand there
High
and fall
Desert,
over. Yeah, I believe it.
is the hottest, driest place in North America. At nearly 48,000 square miles, it is home to a wide variety of landscapes,
Mojave Desert.
from picturesque vistas to barren wastelands, from high mountains to deep valleys, from places where nothing lives to sprawling communities buzzing with activity. Cities such as Las Vegas, San Bernardino, and Lancaster sit on its peripheries, though the larger
Lancaster?
area of the desert itself is
What the
sparsely
fuck is
populated.
Lancaster?
Its rich scenery and regions
Never
such
heard
as
of
Death
this
Valley,
city.
which frequently records temperatures
Then again,
as
I've
high as
never been in Nevada.
134 degrees Fahrenheit or 58 degrees Celsius, are amongst the most popular tourist attractions. The desert's mountains, endless
It's
networks
in
of caves,
Pennsylvania.
and its myriad of abandoned mines also pull in adventurers from all over the world, though this terrain is by no means for the inexperienced. Many who go trekking across the Mojave never
Guess
return
there's one here
alive.
too. I've never heard of that.
Kenny Veach was one such adventurer, and at the age of 47, was an avid and highly experienced hiker. He had a passion for the outdoors, and spent many years exploring the Mojave and Great Basin deserts of North America. Sometimes he would take his girlfriend along with him, although the majority of his hikes were solo, and many of them involved camping over a number of days. On the 10th of November 2014, he packed his bag for an overnight trip, kissed his girlfriend goodbye, and set out for the southern Mojave Desert on what would be his last ever hike.
It's just a dude.
He was never seen again. And if not for some very intriguing comments made by Kenny and other users on YouTube in the months prior to his disappearance, this case would have passed us by with barely a mention anywhere outside of his local community.
Looks like Norm Macdonald's.
Instead, it includes a captivating twist which would ultimately garner worldwide interest and become one of the biggest internet mysteries of the decade. Kenny had been an active user on YouTube, not so much in terms of producing content. He only ever uploaded 5 videos, but he did take a keen interest in hiking vlogs and would often take part
like
in
early
commenting
YouTube,
on
I
these
think,
videos.
too. Like 2008
In
or
June
something.
of that year, he had left a comment on a video entitled "Son of an Area 51 Technician." He described how he had stumbled upon a strange cave
Lazar.
whilst hiking in the Nevada desert, out near Nellis Air Force
Gilbert
Base.
Godfrey.
This cave was apparently shaped like a perfect capital M.
All right, first of all, if someone who claims to be the son of a fucking technician on Area 51 has a story, if that's how they open the story, come on, I don't... Immediately, red flags.
And as he approached it, his whole body began to vibrate. He said that the closer he got, the more intense this vibration became. Suddenly, he was overwhelmed with fear and abandoned his attempt to enter the cave altogether, despite the fact that, as an adventurer, he usually made a habit of entering every cave he discovered. In this case, it was just too much. This comment would spark a 4-month-long online conversation between Kenny and other users, who challenged him to embark upon a second hike to the same area in order to locate this strange cave once again. They asked him to take a video camera with him this time, and to document his findings and to upload the video to YouTube. Kenny did, in fact, revisit the region in October and made a vlog of his experiences during the hike. However, he was unable to locate the cave on this occasion. The video is available to watch on YouTube, and you can view it by searching for M Cave Hike. Kenny's failure to locate it a second time did not deter him, however. In another post on YouTube, he stated his intentions.
Let's look it up real quick, actually. Fuck it. I've seen it before. So this is actually Kenny.
Well, here I am on my hike up here in the mountains north of Las Vegas. This is a canyon I just walked up in. Now you can't tell, but my truck is way out there by the mountains at the very, very end of this valley. It's kind of like a big canyon. On the other side of these mountains, I'll show you in a second, is the bombing range, the Nellis Air Force bombing range. They do a lot of practice stuff out there. This is an old mine.
So literally it could be a location in Fallout New Vegas.
Down. I'll show you that. And then the last time I came up here, I hiked up to the top of what they call Gas Peak, and I spent the night.
Yeah, I've seen the Mel's Hole on Scare Theater
all the way down
before.
another valley over here and went past this mountain range you see on my right, all the way back out to the flat desert. Now, the camera doesn't pick this up very well, but it's a long way. And I just romp around out here, do some solo hikes, and have some fun. My mission today is to just do a one-day hike.
He was never seen after he made this video ever again.
I got to still go over another ridge,
allegedly,
and then go all the way down a big crevice. It's real narrow and gets kind of scary. I'm looking for a cave that I found, and I didn't have a sidearm when I was here before, and something about that cave just spooked me. Out of all the caves I've ever gone in, this one just made my body vibrate. The closer I got to it, the crazier my body felt, and I was like, all right, I'm not going to go in there right now, but I'm coming back someday. And I talked to some people on YouTube, and I told them, hey, I'm coming out here, you know, because they kind of called my hand on it. So I don't know if there's going to be anything
the real
to it,
Metroid
but it might be interesting.
In the end
if I can find it, I got to relocate it, and this is a big mountain range I'm in, and I'm on foot, you know. My truck's way out there. There's no roads, there's no trails. It's a pretty rough terrain. So Hopefully I'll find it.
Yeah, there's
It's
more
shaped
to the
like a big
story.
M. It's a big cave.
I just wanted to show you
like
guys
a gigantic M,
his video.
and it's about as tall as I am and kind of
There's
narrow.
speculation.
And it's stuck on the side of a mountain.
I wanna see him
so
look in this
I hope
thing
I can
now.
find it again. And if I do, I'm going in there. I'm gonna put on my light and take my gun out and walk in there, see if I find anything. We'll see. I'm gonna take the camera and show you how deep this hole is and kind of show you around real quick. So here we go.
It's so wild that this is just like out
area
of the middle of nowhere,
is that I'm in. It's kind of a weird thing. It's been out here forever. I mean, there's no roads, there's no trails. This thing, who knows how long it's been out here, and I have no idea what they were digging up. But it looks like some of the rocks
what
are
is-
kind of rusty, so it
It's
might
like
have
a
been some
mine
kind of
entrance, or
ore.
it's like
This is kind of iffy. I'm gonna step on this thing. It's very old, but I'll just show you down inside that hole. It goes way, way, way down in there. Let me see if I can.
yeah, you can see the bottom.
That's pretty far. That goes way down in there. If you fell, that'd be it. You'd be a goner. It's a long way. So anyway, on the other side of those mountains, they're not that
Foreshadowing.
far away.
He's like, you'd be gone if you fell down there. And that's kind of the idea of a lot of these places out here in the desert. Like, if you fell into one of these holes, there's a good chance that, you know, someone probably would never find you.
And
that
you know,
may
I
have
gotta
been
go
what
down, I
happened.
gotta go over this, and so great. It's my sixth sense talking to me. So I'll catch you later. Talk to you in a minute. Bye.
I know how that feels.
Anyway, I'm back. I had to show you this. I'm almost to the
Yeah,
ridge
if you like
that
got
I'm gonna
injured
be
enough
going
that you
down.
couldn't walk,
And
stuck.
I came across in early October. You don't
Snake
normally
or some
I don't
shit.
normally find these in early October, but when I first started this hike down there's no pine trees, there's no juniper trees, there's barely any bushes. There's a lot of cactus, and slowly but surely I run into juniper, and then every now and then I run into a pine tree. But now I'm in the middle of these pine trees up here, and
Do not look like pine
I just
trees.
came across
Yes, they are.
these, and they have just opened and dropped gigantic sweet pine nuts, or pinion nuts, whatever you want to call them. And they are all over the place. And they're so sweet and delicious. There's flies all over. They're everywhere. This is a treat, and they're really big. Look at the size of those babies, man. They're
poop.
great.
And you're eating droppings.
Even the nut is sweet. Look at that. They're perfect. There's so many of them.
The raw
So,
pine
I'm
nuts.
gonna wander around. I don't like taking them from this because you get the sap all over your hands and it's sticky like crazy. But look at that. They're all over the place. So I'm gonna fill my pockets up.
Free nuts.
These things are expensive. You go anywhere in the outskirts of Vegas or in Vegas, if you can find them in Vegas, and they'll charge you $10 for a bag, sometimes $20 for a bag. You know, just a baggie. And I'm here picking them up free. And they're giant and they're delicious. They're everywhere. There's so many of them laying all over the place.
Just food laying on the ground?
Wow. Oh, perfect.
You telling me?
They're just at the right stage. Look at that. Perfect. Wow. So I'm a happy camper. I'm gonna collect these for a while, and then hopefully we'll find that cave.
When I was out hiking the other day, I saw a dude with a
Okay, so I'm
hiking
back. I
ski pole
came
like
down
that.
one mountain. I came
Let you
over
know
a
they're
ridge, and I
serious.
dropped down inside this canyon. Now that's actually behind me.
He's killed because he found
I'm
the
actually
secret to the
going-
unlimited nuts.
There's big mountains over there.
Big
There's a few
nuts.
caves over there, but that's not where I found
Took
it.
out Kenny Veach.
Out that direction is the direction I'm heading. Down here, I'll walk a little bit. So I'm in another long canyon. This is the
I don't know
second
if it's legal
canyon.
to be there. Probably
And,
not in
I had
some
to go
way.
over a small mountain to get to this one and
But
then
maybe
drop down.
I have no idea, honestly.
And I just got down here, and
Maybe.
now this is just going to go all the way down
I
through
think I
this
just saw an
whole
armadillo.
twisty, windy canyon, and I've got to follow it, and it gets real narrow,
Yeah, I
and then
would
it
assume there's
starts
just, like,
turning
no
into
one
cliffs and
to
stuff that I
enforce
got to
it. Who
start
gives a
climbing
fuck
down.
enough, probably,
it
here.
gets a little hairy, but I've done it 2 other times, so I
Like,
know
probably
I can,
not
I
supposed
know
to
I
be
can
there,
get
maybe,
through.
or probably in
and then
some
it just
spots,
drops
but
down out into the flat desert.
unless, like, an
all of a
actual
sudden,
rancher
boom,
didn't
you're out
want
of
you
the
there.
mountains
I
and
guess
you're
no
on
one
the
would stop
desert.
you.
And then I
The
got to
actual
walk the
landowner would have
whole
to stop you.
range all the way back, and it is a long way. So whew, I'm gonna be worn out, but that beer's gonna taste good. So along here, I'm sure it's further down this canyon, and see, I gotta go past that mountain way out there, and then just keep on going. It turns into a real narrow canyon.
Well, those look awesome.
So
I'd
this
like
is
to
the
like
kind of
hike through something
terrain
like
I-
that. I'd be
I
afraid to
hike
get bit by
over
like
all
a
the
fucking
time.
rattlesnake every
No
few
trails,
seconds, though.
no trash, no people.
Like, it just looks like a place in the movie where someone gets bit
I'm
by
sure
a
there's
fucking
mountain
rattlesnake.
lions out here,
Is that what he just said?
and all kinds of other critters. No bears, obviously. There's no bears out here. And I've never run into a rattlesnake, which is kind of strange. But there's, as you can see, there's no water out here. So, oh, there's a, oh, look at, there's a bird. Oh, I missed him. He's making noises. I wish I could get a picture of him. So I take photographs of cool stuff. I find fossils and all kinds of stuff. So
I don't know if I'd walk right
That's
in the
where I
canyon.
came
I don't want to
from, way
walk on
back
like the
over there.
ridge.
I had to drop down off of that mountain.
Feels like it would be safer to walk on the ridge.
And now I got a ways to go down here. So I'm going to turn this off.
Fuck walking
and
in
if
the
I find
canyon.
the cave, I'll be turning it back on. Bye-bye.
They actually don't have a lot of ticks out west.
Here's a beautiful canyon I'm just now walking
I think
past.
they do, but
I
not
just
as
now
many
got
as
past that
like
little
the
mountain,
northeast and
I gotta walk
east
past
coast
this
is like
canyon and just keep on going.
ground zero for
You gotta know
for
which canyons
ticks.
to go
well,
down,
Lyme
otherwise you
disease,
get
I
lost
should
up
say.
here. I don't bring a compass or anything.
I guess I'm thinking of
But
Lyme
I do
disease
have
more
a
than I'm
pocket
thinking of
full of
ticks.
pine nuts. Yeah. I've been collecting them all the way down here. But that goes way up there. And that just goes, that's north. And it just keeps on going all the way to Alamo, Nevada. Like 80 miles away. So, ow. I tripped. Okay.
That's not good, Kenny.
Where the cave is.
Right, no Lyme.
So, it's
So
along
it's not
here
like as
somewhere.
bad, I would assume.
This is gonna get real narrow way down here when I finally get up to that mountain down there, which is it's a good distance away. When I get to that mountain, I should be in the narrow part of the canyon. It gets so narrow you can almost put your hands on either side of it on the walls, on the canyon walls. And so I do all of this solo, you know, and it's kind of dangerous, and I try to pretend like I don't have any supplies. You know, I bring water and I bring something to eat, but I haven't eaten anything since I started this hike. I'm in trouble.
That's probably not good.
So up here, look, see those? Look at that. Kind of
Yeah, it looks like man-made, kind of.
right there. That's
Not
kind of
bad.
cool.
That clearly is man-made.
All right, I'm gonna turn it off and then I'll turn it back on here. Look at that, that's pretty cool right there. Huh.
It has to be, right? No, maybe not.
All right, off with the camera. Well, I'm leaving it in the dust. Oops. And
Yeah, it's just like from
the
the
canyon's getting a little more narrow. It looks like
erosion shit.
it's blocked off, but you can squeeze. I can squeeze through that. It kind of turns into like an S, but it just keeps on going. And then there's lots of little caves, but they're not the kind of cave I'm looking for. The kind of cave I'm looking for is deep and it's dark and it's shaped like it's
Name is
shaped just like the
Carlor.
letter M. So lots of little caves and stuff along here, and it's about level with the ground, like right like in an area like this. So I really got to keep my eyes peeled because I don't want to pass it. You know. And then there's caves like that.
Not that cave.
I'm not going up there. There's caves, there's actually caves all over the place up here, up and stuff like that, because that's where I find my skulls, you know,
What?
off the beaten path. Not that this is a beaten path. Very, 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 very few people come down here. Did I say enough varies? So I'm gonna shut the camera off again, and you can see that
He's like finding like dead bodies
I'll be
out in
coming
the desert.
down here and going
I collect
like
their
an S. I'll be
skulls.
zigzagging back and forth through here, and it'll be getting skinnier and taller, and then I got to do some cliff descending down some cliffs. They're not too bad though, if I can remember right. It's been a while since I've been up here, so off with the camera. Ow! Ooh! I almost fell. Bye.
Kenny, starting to feel like maybe
Here's where it
You
gets
fell in the
narrow.
hole.
It starts to get narrow anyway. I still got a ways to go before I get to the opening where I step out into the desert. And I have not seen the funny looking little cave.
it's like Alan
But I
tutorial
did see a rock
almost.
cairn, so
It's like
somebody's
Alan
been down
Resnick
here.
fucking made this. Is Kenny Veach Alan Resnick?
Another-
I don't know.
Adventurer like myself. So here's where it comes to a area where I might have to do a little climbing, I think. Yeah, a little bit of drop off. I think I should be able to scale down these bushes.
Yeah, that's like how you definitely
with
can
my
get
camera in my
like
hand.
your legs broken and then just fucked.
So,
Just like you're done.
Bye.
There's no way you're coming back.
Well, I'm in the canyon.
Like fucking James Franco.
I haven't found the cave, but look what I did find.
Yo, what the fuck? Glitch in the Matrix? Nature is not real.
He's way up there.
Yeah, that is pretty sick. What is that goat doing?
I don't know how close I'll get to him.
What the hell is he doing out there? Like, what do they do?
Wow. He is big. Look at the horns on that guy. That's why I love coming out here. You never know what you're gonna see. Oh man, he's looking right at me, and
His voice kind of reminds me of
Probably hears me
Charborg a little
talking.
bit too.
oh my gosh. So anyway, I'll try to get another shot of him.
They're like the same mannerisms almost.
How cool. Well, I did not find the cave. That is so weird. I mean, I thought for sure I was just gonna be able to find it. I remember it being fairly easy. Who knows? But I am at the mouth of the canyon. There, I'm just now coming out. And now I have to take a big left-hand turn and walk all the way back to my truck, which is a long, hard trip because I've got a lot of up and down to do. And that's it. I'll talk to you when I get back
That
to my
looks
truck.
fucking awesome.
Bye-bye.
I love seeing hills in the distance like that.
Well, I'm still
Turtle.
hiking. It looks like it's about 4 or 5
Tortoise.
in the afternoon. And I'm getting worn out, but I've got a lot, I don't know, I think I got about 3 more miles to go. Whew, what a hike. It's disappointing I didn't find the cave, but I still like to hike. And I just came across this fellow. It's been a while since I saw one. It's a nice little Mojave Desert tortoise. He is definitely a desert tortoise. So I think he's acting like a rock, so I don't mess with him. But you're not supposed to mess with him, so I'm not going to touch him. But I will get over there and get close to him. Ouch! Oh, my legs, worn out. Let me tell you. Hey, bud. How you doing? I'm just going to take your picture here. He's neat looking. Hey, this is about how big he is.
Like, leave me the
My
fuck
hand
alone,
next to
man.
him.
Yeah, he like thought he was a
Good
rock. He
size.
thought he was invisible. The turtle was like, I'm fucking invisible
Touch him,
right
you're
now
not
to this
supposed
guy.
touch him or mess with him. It is highly illegal. He's a good sized guy. desert tortoise. So now I've seen a tarantula. I took a picture of
Yeah, I
the
didn't even know
tarantula.
that there
He
was a
wasn't
desert
very big
tortoise,
guy.
honestly.
And this is the mountain range I'm walking
I'd be like
around
worried
right
if I
now.
saw him out there.
Vegas is out that way. There's Mount Charleston. It's got a nice cool breeze going. If I wasn't hiking, I wouldn't be hot. And that is it. So see you later, tortoise. Bye, guy. Hope I didn't disturb you.
All right, well, that's Kenny. Let's go back to the story. Other story. Yeah, that was a cool video.
Of returning to the area once more, and that this time he was absolutely determined to find it.
So this is after the last
Whilst
video.
this
He
generated encouragement from
returns.
the YouTube community, there was one comment which stood out from the rest and was rather ominous in nature. It was left by user Lemmy Kilmister, and it read, "No, do not go back there."
This is the weirdest part of the entire thing. Yeah, one person on that video we just saw, I think. Hold on a second. Hold on. I wonder if the comment is there. Not. Is it? I wonder if the comment got deleted. Yeah, the comments on that video are all really sad. They're just like, damn, he seems like a good dude. I guess the comment is gone. Is there another video of his? His other videos on his YouTube channel are Shark Tank submissions. There he is.
Hello everyone at Quirky. My name is Kenny Veach, and I invented the new improved toilet paper roll holder for the household. It works great, and it's my own little invention, and I'm going to show you how it works. First, I'm
I
just
never
going to
really got
demonstrate.
into Shark Tank.
When you
Seems
run
like
out of
people
a
really
roll
like that
of
show.
paper,
Never
you've
caught
got
on
two
with me.
decorative knobs. Everything looks like a regular one, except it'll be like that. And then it runs out. You just pull that, put the other one in, and let go. And right now it's not precise because I used hand tools, but you get the picture. It works perfect, and it's beautiful. And that's it right there. That's the new improved toilet paper roll. You just let it go, and when I perfect it, when it's perfected and manufactured with more precision tools, it will go right inside the hole, and it locks and holds in there, you know. And there's a lot of ways to improve this, but my mechanism is inside here. Keeps it from coming all the way out, and it keeps it on track. So works perfect. The new improved toilet paper roll holder. This is a good one, guys. Thanks for your time. I hope I hear from you soon. Bye-bye.
Damn it, Kenny. Yeah, big toilet paper got him. I guess the other video isn't... Oh, no, it is listed. So he put out the MK video. Then that person must have commented on that video. That's 2014. 2014. 2014. 2014. These are all from like a week in 2014. If anyone could find that comment, I wonder if, like, that's so bizarre to me if it actually fucking disappeared. All right, let's go back to the real video.
If you find that cave entrance, do not go in. If you do, you won't get out.
So someone left a comment like that, though, on that video, like when he was like, I'm going back.
Kenny did respond to this comment, asking, "What makes you say that?" But he did not receive a reply, and nothing has been heard from this user since. Veach left for his third tour of the area on Monday the 10th of November. By the 14th, he had still not returned, and his girlfriend reported him missing later that day. After a week, and still no sign of Kenny, authorities began to search the region. Large search parties were formed and a helicopter was deployed. They found his mobile phone resting on the ground outside an entrance to a mine. This led many to believe that he had probably fallen into the deep mine shaft within and had died from the fall. But when cameras were sent down to investigate, there was no sign of a dead body or that the pit had been disturbed in any way by someone falling in or otherwise. There was little in the way of tracks, and nothing else was found of Kenny's belongings. Members of his local community assisted in the search, and the extra manpower meant that a much larger area could be covered, but it was all to no avail. It was as if he had vanished from the face of the earth. The first anyone in the online community heard of his disappearance was a month later, on the 10th of December 2014, when Kenny's girlfriend left a comment stating that he had not returned from his trip and that he was now listed as a missing person. Despite subsequent and continued searches by enthusiastic YouTube vloggers wishing to investigate further, Kenny's body has still not been found. This has left behind a thought-provoking mystery, which has grown into something of an internet sensation, not least because of its connections to something which could possibly be described as Fortean. Unsurprisingly, there have been many ideas circulating about exactly what happened to Kenny. First and foremost is the theory that he died of natural causes, and that his remains are still somewhere out there in the wilderness. Although Kenny was an experienced hiker, it has been noted that he took monumental risks, refusing to take basic navigational aids along with him on his hikes.
Yeah, it's probably
Kenny was
not a
known
great
to have
idea.
something of a cavalier attitude towards hiking, saying that maps and compasses were for amateurs, a point of view which the great American wilderness will readily subjugate if given the opportunity. Many speculate that Kenny either became disorientated and lost his way, or that he ran out of supplies, collapsed from a combination of exhaustion and dehydration, and succumbed to the elements. However, either scenario is unlikely, as Kenny was hiking in a very specific area, and a death by natural causes would have resulted in a higher probability of his body being found, or at least the discovery of some clues to indicate this outcome. Other less plausible theories suggest that he may have been bitten by a rattlesnake or attacked by a mountain lion, but this is doubtful, as Kenny had taken his gun with him, and signs of such an attack would have been obvious. No blood was found on his phone, for instance.
I don't
And there
know.
was nothing to indicate animal predation in the location where it was discovered.
Also, a good amount of people do just
There are
fucking
those who
disappear
postulate
in
that
the
he may have
woods
witnessed
every
something
year,
he shouldn't have,
and
such
like
as a
no
gangland
bodies
killing,
ever found.
drug deal, or even a classified military exercise.
He might shoot at
and
a
that he was
snake if you're,
silenced
like-
then and there.
Yeah, probably not.
Once again, there were no signs whatsoever to indicate that something like this had taken place.
He ran across some Breaking
A
Bad
less
shit. They
popular
just like fucking
explanation
killed him.
is that Kenny faked his own death. It is known that he had quit his job to start a new business about a year before he disappeared.
There you go.
That business was not doing as well as he had hoped, and in one of his videos, he talked about selling his home because he was running out of capital. Although there is no evidence to suggest that he owed money to any particular individual or organisation, this has led many to believe that he staged his disappearance in order to avoid paying his debts. However, there are many problems with this theory. First of all, faking one's death to start a new life is no easy feat. It is an immense undertaking, requiring a huge amount of planning, financial investment, and an outright acceptance of personal loss. Kenny had a girlfriend, and many others dear to his heart, and it is hard to believe that he could have left all of these people behind and not once feel the need to see them again. Secondly, the amount of attention which has been drawn to this case since his disappearance would have made faking his death all the more difficult. So once more, this scenario is highly unlikely. This now leads us to address the elephant in the room, and that is Kenny's comments regarding this so-called M-shaped cave. The question over exactly what this cave was, if it even existed at all, has been prominent in the mystery surrounding Kenny's disappearance. An obvious theory regarding his fate is that he did, in fact, manage to locate and enter this cave on his third and final attempt, and that he was either killed, abducted, or succumbed to some sort of accident and died therein. The comment left by user Lemmy Kilmister only makes this possibility
kill
all the more
Mr.
chilling. So if Kenny did indeed find this cave, what was its purpose? Nevada is home to a number of US air bases, including Nellis, Creech, and of course, the notorious Area 51 facility at Groom Lake. There are those that believe the cave was an entrance to a deep underground military base, otherwise known as a DUMB. There are many
Never heard that
conspiracy
before.
theories surrounding such installations.
Never heard that
And possibly the most
phrase
famous
used like
example
that before.
is that of Dulce in New Mexico, where all sorts of horrors, such as experimentation on human subjects, are said to take place. The strange vibration and subsequent feelings of fear experienced by Kenny as he approached the cave could have been the effects of what is known as an access denial system. This may sound like science fiction, but these devices have actually been developed and tested by the US military in various applications, though they usually use heat as a deterrent and work in much the same way as a microwave does. Investigators have theorized that the device used in this particular cave could instead have been based on infrasound. Infrasound is a relatively new discovery of ultra-low frequency sound waves which have significant effects on human beings when they are exposed to them.
There you go.
People are said to experience strange vibrations, auditory and visual hallucinations, and intense feelings of fear when subjected to such low frequencies.
Brown noises.
They occur naturally, and their existence has been put forward as a possible explanation for a variety of phenomena, including hauntings and even alien abductions. These sound waves can be recreated under the right circumstances, and could be used in a military capacity. It should be noted, however,
Yeah, only
that the
M-shaped caves
cave
can
could have
do
been
it.
a completely natural formation, and may have, in fact, generated its own infrasound waves. Some of the more fringe theories suggest the
Yeah, those
involvement
aliens.
of extraterrestrials. Of
They have
course,
hair.
Nevada is no stranger to UFOs and odd
They have
goings-on.
hair. They have like bangs.
In particular, an ex-US airman by the name of Charles James Hall wrote a book about his experiences working out in the Nevada desert,
That
where
wasn't
he
the first
interacted with an
thing.
alien race known as the Tall Whites. In his
Oh,
book,
I've never heard of the
he
Tall
describes
Whites.
how the Tall Whites had supposedly
Heard of
entered
those
into
short
an agreement
greys.
with the US government, whereby they were given secret
tall
underground
greys.
bases in and around the Mojave. Could the M-shaped cave have been the entrance to one of their bases? And could Kenny have been killed or abducted for stumbling upon something he was never supposed to find? The fact of the matter is, we may never know.
We may never know.
In any case, Kenny's girlfriend left a heartbreaking comment on his channel in 2016, which seemed to suggest something of an unexpected possibility regarding his fate. It was made in response to a question from an amateur investigator on YouTube. In the message, she says that she believes Kenny took his own life, that she had noticed a significant change for the worse in terms of his depression, due to increasing money issues. As already stated, he had quit his job of 17 years to pursue starting up his own business, but this had been something of a failure, and he was essentially living on his retirement money.
I don't think he
She
would have
mentioned
done
that
that.
Kenny
I don't
had
know.
opened up and talked to her about
I guess
his
she would know
suicidal
better, though.
thoughts he had had for most of his
But
adult
that
life.
Shark Tank video is like a week
His
before
father
this.
had committed suicide when Kenny was in his early 20s, and he had always
know.
said that if he was ever going to take his own life, he would not do it at home, but out in the wilderness where no one would ever find him. She believed he said this because of the painful memories he himself had endured after finding his father's body at home. When search and rescue were given the go-ahead to search Kenny's residence, they apparently found articles on suicide in his internet search history, and that he had written the words "help me" several times. Kenny's girlfriend
Jesus
doesn't
Christ.
know whether he left that morning with the intention
Like,
of
help
taking
me
his own
into
life,
Google?
or whether he decided to do it whilst on the hike. He had left his video camera behind, which begs the question of whether he had any desire to find the M-shaped cave on this particular occasion, or whether he had more pressing things on his mind. She believes his body could be in any one of the thousands of caves or mines dotted all over the Nevada desert, and that it would be very difficult to find him if he is still out there. If true, her post speaks loud and clear about Kenny's state of mind at the time of his final hike.
Yeah, I wonder if someone else will
Whatever
ever
the
find his
explanation for
body,
his disappearance,
his remains.
as time rolls on, the sad truth is that he is more than likely no longer amongst us. Our thoughts are with Kenny's loved ones, And if they are never again to see this
Like,
man,
even you're watching
by
him
all
walk
accounts
at
was a
that
lovable,
canyon. If
genuine
anyone had
individual
fallen,
with
just
a
like
huge
there
heart,
too, it'd be hard to
we
find
can
you.
only hope that they find solace in the fact that he died doing what he loved. Our hearts go out to those who knew him, and no matter how slim the possibility, until his body is found, we will pray for his safe return.
Yeah, you never know. Could just be like living in some cave somewhere. You never know. Yeah, it was a cave that just led to another universe. He's living in a world without YouTube now. Why he never posted another video. Makes sense. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up there for now. Like I said, I gotta go get my